What's going on, ladies and gents? Digibus here, bringing you guys today some more Rainbow Six Siege gameplay. And today, we're going to talk about the very vaguely announced Operation Red Crow for the new Japanese operators for Rainbow Six Siege. If you guys saw the Rainbow Six ESL final trailer or teaser, whatever they've released on their channel, at the end, they're going to obviously have their traditional sneak peek of the new operators that are coming out. I think it was November 12th or 13th. One or the other. I know they had those 2 dates listed there. I didn't actually catch the actual one. But for the most part, we'll be looking at the new Japanese operator. We already had that big leak footage of the guy with the flying drone is what everyone's saying. So that's going on. But honestly, I kind of want to talk for my hopes and expectations with Red Crow and the big patch, hopefully, that we are deserving of for Rainbow Six Siege. Now, Operation Red Crow, obviously we have the guy, what we believe is that flying drone. And just to give some light on it, I don't think that this guy will necessarily be the most powerful of operators. Now, of course, this guy is a mobile camera. I guess this is how he's going to be used if he's on defense, because in the league gameplay we saw him going up against Sledge, and obviously Sledge is not a defender unless they like flip reversed a bunch of shit on us here and all that just happened. But anyways, so with a flying drone or some sort of whatever drone this guy's going to be using, at least what the leaks have been pointing towards, I don't see him being the bread and butter of the DLC. Like, each DLC kind of had the, like, the better operator of the two. Like, I couldn't remember Black Ice for some reason. For Black Ice, the operators were fairly like balanced for the most part, but they honestly, that DLC I think was a more special case because now they've definitely come more in line with each other. But before you had Frost that had the sniper super 90 at the beginning, and then Buck was still pretty good. His shotgun went through various tweaks. So honestly, those guys have probably been the most equally balanced of operators against each other. They, per se, counter each other very well. Frost technically counters everyone in the right situation, and Buck, now he has his frag grenades, but before he didn't. So them alone have seen their fair share. I think they're probably the most balanced of the DLC operators. And then obviously you have Dustline. Blackbeard was reigning champ for a while. Even though Valkyrie did have her cameras and the Spaz 12 was really powerful at one point, the face shield still remains a dominant gadget in Rainbow Six Siege. So it's not like, he was definitely more the bread and butter of Dustline. And then for Skull Rain, personally, Capital was probably the winner of that because his overall usefulness extended throughout the whole game, where Caveira's you needed to obviously get the interrogation off for her to become god tier. But with Capital, his flaming arrows came in great clutch if you need to clear out an area or keep someone prone or do whatever else, the micro smoke nades, whatever was needed. Capital was pretty much always useful and really didn't have any counters. If you really want to say is a strong counter to him was Castle if he barricaded out, because then he probably couldn't get his arrows in the room, but technically anyone can barricade a wall. So there really wasn't an end-all be-all counter to Capital. Obviously he was just a lightweight, or light armor I should say, operator with max speed, so he couldn't really tank that much damage. So now with Operation Red Crow, we have this guy with the flying drone. And from what the other leaks have said, the attacker lady has some sort of grenade that can punch holes through reinforced walls. Now, the reinforced wall punching hole shenanigans, is it going to be impact nade? Like, this obviously all is very suggestive to how big the hole is. Her power and her utility depends on how big these holes are. If we're talking impact nade size where you can vault through it, okay, she's probably A tier if we're gonna go off something like that. S tier being like MLG X legit X homie status. But A rank, she'd probably land there if she could just throw her grenade and then punch a hole through a wall. Now, obviously, she'd be countered by Jaeger and potentially Bandit. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but if you shoot your breaching charge, or at least this has happened to me quite a few times. I don't know if this is a glitch or not, but this has happened to me where I shoot my breaching charge from Ash at whatever is being electrocuted. The breaching charge will actually get destroyed by Bandit's electric wire. I don't know why it does that. I don't know if that's a bug or not, but I've done it to people, and it's happened to me before. So I don't know if that's a thing. So if the grenade is also neutralized by Bandit's shockwire, then obviously Bandit technically gets a little bit more powerful, but then Thatcher, once again, is still one of the best supports, and so was Twitch at this point. So nothing too like game changing where like Castle all of a sudden becomes like MLG status and something like that. Obviously, these grenades, it depends on if they're also going to do the damage. If I say throw these grenades at someone, if I hit you with it, how much damage they're going to do. If it's going to do like impact grenade status where it does like half your health or so or something like that. So it obviously all depends on how this grenade is balanced out. Or if it even is a grenade, these are just leaks at the point. We haven't even seen gameplay of this chick yet. So there's a bunch of shit to come forth. But anyways, for her, whatever armor rating they are, I would definitely say the defensive guy would probably be best suited for a max speed operator, just because he would use his drone to get around, maybe detect someone, then kind of move with the drone. So if you say he's roaming, he'd be kind of more of a slow roamer, where you put the drone in front of him and he scout out the area, and then he kind of follows suit, with the drone itself. So then he can probably get the best flanks off. Obviously, he'd come back with a shotgun and most likely an SMG along those lines. So whatever, obviously, gun is best for him. You'd probably try maybe run a silencer on that for most effectiveness for the flanking. Now, also, it depends on how loud his drone is, how large his drone is, how easy his drone is to detect. Now, I can see him being a lot more useful on a map like Bank, where in the center room, or in the center area, you have this massive ceiling area, and this drone can be put up in a corner somewhere to be hidden, or you can hide it somewhere. I don't know if you can adjust elevation. I don't even know, maybe it's not an actual flying drone. Maybe it's like a spider drone kind of thing, or whatever it's stated to be, or however it's going to work. If it per se is a flying drone of some such, you can kind of place it in maybe a darker area where he can see people. Maybe it has thermal imaging. Maybe it doesn't. We don't know at this point to like define the end all be all of what this guy's gonna do. So he could either be really powerful or really weak. But at the same time, I'm actually a little more on the side. I want him to be an operator that is max armor and no speed, because we have too many roamers as it is. Everyone in Rainbow Six Siege just leaves the objective to roam. And I wish this guy would bring back some more usefulness to, obviously, to defend the area. Say if he was a really heavy operator and he was best suited to stay back, and it wasn't smart to roam with his drone, where he'd make a lot of noise, be slow or something like that. But from what we've seen from the leak footage, I don't know if I can still show it or not, because obviously that's under, Ubisoft probably doesn't want that to be revealed until they reveal it. But what we've seen from the actual leaks is he does look like a lightweight operator, unfortunately. Maybe a 2 armor operator, maybe he's even. So there is potential where, like, of course, he's another roamer, and I'll be disappointed with that. I feel like he would come back with impact nades. You got your drone into an area. Oh, there's a guy over there. You impact nade, shoot the people through the wall, and leave. Stuff like that. There's many situations where this guy can be effective, but I feel like we're going to run into another operator in Rainbow Six Siege that doesn't have that Rook use, where it's like you're picking Rook because Rook's good. You're just going to wind up picking this guy because, maybe he'll come in effective use like Caveira. And that's one fact of Caveira that I really hate, is that she's so situational, and she's good if she only gets her her job done, where this guy might be a little bit more useful with technically a moving camera, if he obviously if he's on defense, a moving camera. So yeah, that would be interesting per se in the long run. Now, obviously, as I stated back for this chick, I'll go a little more depth into her. We don't have that much information. So she'll probably come back with some. She'll probably be loaded with some sort of carbine, assault rifle, and then in this case, I think she'll probably have a DMR, or maybe an LMG. Another LMG in the game would be really interesting. That's like technically 4 people that can get LMGs. That's Fuse, Capital, IQ, and then maybe this new chick gets one. Maybe she'll be built more aggressively, per se. Maybe she will be that max speed operator. She bursts a hole through a wall, she jumps through, everyone's ready to go. But the more likely chance is that she might be even. Just based off these leaks, these operators don't sound like max armor operators. If they are, then they are, but like I said, the defense guy didn't look like it. So this chick obviously would come back with probably some sort with that thermite or that thermal grenade, whatever it is, to deplete the use of thermite. I don't think it will be there. I still think thermite will be one of those characters that has been stapled in Rainbow Six Siege. But I definitely feel like she'll be a strong replacement to him in a lot of situations, especially with more aggressive-based teams. So if you don't want to get stopped by a mute, you just throw that grenade and have a go with it. and stuff like that. But obviously, things are subject to change once again. So there is a lot of playing room in that sense, where she could or could not be a full replacement to Thermite. But I feel like her and Thermite would actually pair up very strong as a team, because if she punches holes in walls and he blows up whole walls, you're really opening a lot of the defenseman's area. And maybe that might encourage, unfortunately, more roaming, because people will be like, okay, well, the objective area is just going to get blown up. What's the point of reinforcing? And stuff like that. So it's really a give or take situation here. I don't know how I feel about these Japanese operators just by what we've heard and what's going off along the basis of them, but I feel like we're getting farther and farther away from the end game of Rainbow Six Siege, and I feel like this final DLC is going to cement the idea. Instead of Rainbow Six Siege, it's going to be Rainbow Six Roam, and that's pretty much it. Anyways, for the big patch, obviously, I just to get into it a little bit here before I fully wrap up this video. Ubisoft said there was a high priority maintenance for better connectivity to the servers, better hit registration, stuff like that. And the end all be all of it, if we really get the game to be amped up and better in that long run, I think that the game itself will be more defined and a lot better for people to play and enjoy, and Siege maybe can solidify itself as a half-decent game. But if the patch does go through and nothing has really changed in the long run and we still have a lot of issues, then I guess Ubisoft, congratulations, you kept up with your track record of terrible server-side connectivity with all your games. Not looking at you, Assassin's Creed Unity, not looking at you at all. But yeah, without further ado, guys, I'll make a video more in depth, hopefully, of the big patch and some other remaining issues with Rainbow Six Siege. But without further ado, I'm Dangerous, and I'll see you sexy beasts next episode. Peace.